Many Christians are hesitant to share their faith. They're concerned that they won't know what to say when somebody asks them a difficult question. But yet there's many powerful evidences that exist to show that Christianity is indeed true. What can we do to equip people with this evidence? I'm joined today by Dr. Bernard Palmer, who is a retired senior surgeon from the United Kingdom and one of the founding pastors of Christchurch in Baldock, England. Dr. Palmer is a skilled evangelist, and so we're grateful to have him with us. Dr. Palmer, you have this wonderful metaphor about stepping stones to the gospel, stepping stones to the Christian faith, where you identify a lot of different lines of evidence that can be used to marshal the case for Christianity. And we're talking today about a collection of evidences that relate to the person of Christ, which of course is a very important set of evidences because Christianity is all about the person of Jesus. One of the things that you hear people often say was that Jesus was a good moral teacher. But one of the things that's interesting is that when Jesus taught, not only did he teach about ways to live to honor God, but he also taught about himself. What did Jesus teach about himself, and how can we use that to show people that Jesus is who the Christian faith claims him to be?
C.S. Lewis answered that question about being a good moral teacher and said that is one thing we must not say. Either he was God or he was the devil or he was lying. He's mad, bad or God. He's one of them. The evidence is very much in what Jesus himself said. His disciples wrote about him and said, he is the Christ. The beginning of Mark's Gospel, the beginning of the Gospel about Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Jesus said to his enemies, the scriptures talk all about me. They're so full of himself. Everything he does puts himself in the center. And yet, the amazing fact is that his behavior was so self-effacing. He was so kind. He was honest. He cared for the downtrodden. Now that is quite extraordinary. How can someone be so egocentric? I and the Father are one, he says. Wow. And yet, he's so self-effacing. I love the bit in John 10 that talks about this. Jesus says, if you're the Christ, he was asked, if you're the Christ, tell us plainly. And Jesus answered, I did tell you, but you didn't believe. The miracles I do in my Father's name speak of me, but you don't believe because you're not my sheep. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. He was so full of himself. I give them eternal life. That's the Christian claim, that God can give us eternal life, and they shall never perish. No one can snatch them out of my hand. My Father who's given them to me is greater than all. No one can snatch them out of my hand. I and the Father are one. Now, that's so clear. I had a man at school, a schoolmaster, who said to me, he said to our class, Jesus never claimed to be God. What rubbish! He claims it again and again. He can't have read the Bible. Now, there's an interesting little problem. The Jews picked up stones then to stone him. And Jesus said to them, I've shown you many great miracles. That's further evidence we haven't talked about from the Father. For which of these do you stone me? We're not stoning you for any of these, replied the Jews, but for blasphemy, because you, a mere man, claim to be God. With no doubt what he claimed. And Jesus went on and said, why do you accuse me of blasphemy because I said, I am God's son? See, Jesus saw that being the Son of God was actually being God. Just as the son of a monkey is a monkey, the son of a lion is a lion, son of a giraffe is a giraffe, and the Son of God is God. That's the meaning here. And there's no doubt from this passage that his enemies understood this very clearly. That's why they killed him.